Good morning, everybody. There's a lot of people been asking me as they walk by the street here what I'm doing with Jimneys. Basically, I'm Vincent the Beehive Maker, but anyway, I'm just going to show how I do this, make this job simpler when Suzukis go like this, the Jimny. Started doing this. It basically is a hobby. Once I've done this one and the red one's got the front panels fell off it, with rust. I've just never seen one as rusty as that, so I'll keep you busy this summer. But on this one I'm just going to show you what I do to make this job easy, because otherwise you're outside. Well, I'm outside in the rain and the weather. Yesterday was lovely, but you can't make a noise I won't make a noise on a Sunday, especially Easter Sunday. But I'll show you what I do here and how I repair them. So I've made a really temporary camera bracket. So I'll put that there, and then I'll get on with getting the panel out. Yeah, so I take just take this bolt out of here. Awkward today. Yeah, as I say, I just take this bolt out of here, so the wings comes away a bit. I take the inner peg out of the plastic inner, so that can move, and then you can get the wing away far enough so you don't damage it. And then there's a couple of places sometimes where it hasn't gone rusty, and there's two lugs on the inner side there where there's about a 1 inch square that holds it, so sometimes you might need to cut that or grind that to get that off, but I'll show you what I do, and then at least you can mend this inside. So that's got those two. So now this end is free. Then using a short blade on my zipper, I do it straight down. Might help run a battery, of course. Thought it was a bit light. That's that, and then when you come across here, I find is to just push the cable clip back through, just make sure everything's out of the way, make the job harder. And then it's really awkward today. Yeah, and then find somewhere easy there to cut through so that it's easy to put back together afterwards. Right. So that's technically now that's free, I think. Oh, there might be a bit of rust down there holding it. And then, as everybody knows, this bolt here, make sure you put either diesel on the thread underneath a few days before, or a good WD-40. Oh, that was not as tight as they normally are. And then you take that out. And then you've got that, as you can. Sorry? Yes. Yeah. And then I'll show you in another video. I'll show you in another video how I put these back together, but it's much easier on the bench. So yeah, so that's the next. That, as you can see, this one's gone, but it's quite easy to mend. Just yeah, and that'll be the next video on the bench. I'll take it across there, get my glove off so I don't get oil and stuff all over the camera. So yeah, you have to excuse the workshop, but I'm in the middle of making 4 long hives, and they take up a lot of room. So what I've done is I've made patterns for everything. Now, to make the patterns correctly, I'm thinking of having laser cut sheet steel for things like this, because what I've done is, if you look, I bought a front panel, flipping expensive Suzuki stuff, but I bought a front panel so that I could actually make everything so it fits beautifully. So that'll go on there, and then that goes up the swan neck, as I call it. That sits, so it all right, get it in the right place, Vincent. Yeah, so that goes up the swan neck, and then so I've made that so it's right and left-handed, if you can see, like that. So that goes on like that. That goes up behind, that flaps up behind the headlight, and that piece goes down the inside of the swan neck, and then this curls round, and then this piece, normally this piece is okay, but you can all what I'm thinking is, I might, when I get them laser cut, I'm going to get these flaps made, these flaps here made about 1 inch longer, so it's easier to repair the panel. Yeah, so I've got all the parts here which I've copied off the new panel, and then it's easy to repair the ends pieces. I've made these for the that's left hand rear, right hand rear, where it goes around the rubber, repairing the body. So that's easy. You take the back bumper off, and that goes down the back flange. That slides in, and you just make a square in there that you slide in and weld in, and then that's secure. Now I know there's a lot of talk now about you know, welding and cost and all this kind of thing. So what I have found out is, because Citroens are mostly glued together, there is a new product. I thought I had a tin here. Seeker. There's a tube of Seeker. A metal tube of Seeker. Seeker 265, I think it is. Where's it gone? But yeah, so Seeker. Here it is. Beg your pardon, I meant to show you before. But yeah, see this product here, Seeker Flex 265. I've tried it. I've tried it on metal to metal, but it wasn't Seeker Flex. That's a much better one than the one I used. But I got this X8 hybrid. Yeah, well, it was a similar one to this, and I glued 2 sheets of metal, and truthfully you just couldn't separate them. And it's the same stuff as Citroen uses, and the good thing with adhesive, I've seen a lot of people doing sills with adhesives. The good thing with an adhesive is you get a full bonding, you know, flat surface to flat surface. You get a full bonding. Plus, if there is an accident or anything, it's not like a weld where it pops or splits. It gives that little bit. So if you like, the panel becomes like a bounce panel. But I'm not keen on them. I'm not keen on it anywhere near structural. Now on the Jimny, as you know, you can't, as long as all your chassis points are good to the body and the body to the chassis point, then even if the sills fall off, it shouldn't fail the MOT, because it's a chassis based you know, I forget now what you call it, sort of a you've got the body which is complete, but it's just the chassis locations, and it's the chassis that's the strength of the vehicle. So on this now, what I'll do is I'll clean this up. But what I'm going to show you now is when you buy a front panel. I must remember to tell you about these. When you buy a front panel here for this is different. What they do on the new front panel is they give you an extra piece. This flap here is an extra piece, so it's easier to fit it to under the headlight panel. So yeah, so that's something perhaps I ought to look about getting laser cut. And when I do, I'm thinking of doing a kit with all the panel bits, all these panel bits. It's been a bit of a mess doing them, but I've used them a few times. So yeah, that's it. But what I'll do is I'm going to now, I've bought myself a compressor and a nibbler to cut the panels out. So I lay that out on the steel, cut that out, and then fix it round here. But I'll clean all that up. I'll clean all this up first. Now, one thing you must remember when you're doing this, these little plastic things for the headlights, you must look after them. They are, I think they're over £4 each, these, so you need to make sure that you look after them. And then yeah, because otherwise all these little bits on Suzukis are so silly money. Now another thing I've done is, and there's another video, and that's on the ball joints. Now I've got hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of, you know, mountings and the bearings, the ball, the kingpin bearings. But what I've done is I've had these shims made, and they're all different sizes, and they are to. So if you look at my kingpin ball joint video, you'll see by putting these in, you get rid of the play instantly, because the bearings don't go out of shape, or they over time they just seat in nicely, and as long as they're not pitted or anything, they're perfectly okay. So I do that as well. So yeah, so I hope this video has been helpful, and I'll do a second one. This will be one of two. I'll do a second one when I'm putting this bit back in the car. Okay, thank you for watching.